Welcome back to the Lose Weight by Eating podcast. It has been a while, everyone. I took a long hiatus. I was a little bit burnt out, but with that said, I am coming back to all of you with new ideas, new perspective, and some fun new stories. Because the new year is upon us, I really wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions, how to set them well, and a new way to think about them. And I've got my notes here with me. I'm actually going to skip all the way to the bottom because I'm really excited about this new way to figure out the best New Year's resolution for you. So, what you'll want to do is take out a piece of paper, and I want you to envision you've won the lottery or gotten a huge inheritance. Either way, a huge amount of money has been dumped in your lap. You don't have to work anymore. You can if you want to, but you no longer have your schedule created around your work. Now you can create your own schedule. So just envision that. I know these are pipe dreams. Go with it here. So write down what your schedule would look like. Not when you're traveling, but when you're at home. What would your schedule look like if you had no work to worry about and you could just do whatever you wanted to do? Would you go to the gym more? Would you cook more at home? Would you read more? Or what would you do? So I actually wrote out, if I won the lottery tomorrow, what my day-to-day would look like when I'm at home. And I would start out with a slow morning, enjoying my coffee. I would go to the gym for a couple of hours. I'd make a healthy homemade lunch. And I would read for fun or for knowledge. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see I have quite a lot of books here. I would make a healthy family dinner. I would unwind in lovely, fancy, lounging clothing. I would do self-care every day before bed, and then I would sleep well, wake up, and start all over again. So take a moment and write down, if you could do anything with your day-to-day, what would that be? Then I want you to go back and take a pen, and I want you to circle what you can do right now. Don't worry about your schedule. We can fit it in. So the gym, right? Homemade lunch. You could do that now. Self-care before bed. You could do that now. Make a healthy family dinner. Depending on your schedule and if you like to meal prep, you can do that now. I have just circled 4 really great New Year's resolutions that you could do right now. Yeah, of course, if I had unlimited time, I could go to the gym for a couple of hours, but that doesn't mean I can't fit 30 minutes in right now, right? I would do self-care every night. But I could do that now. Why can't I do that now, right? I could do a face mask. You can make your own homemade face masks. I could meditate. That's free. There's lots of things that you can do when you think about what would my ideal life look like. And then take a step back and realize, oh, I can actually do that right now. That would make a really great New Year's resolution. So I actually did this last year, and I realized what is holding me back from going to the gym every day. I joined a gym. My membership is, I believe, $35 per month. And I can tell you most places right now are offering a free join, like they don't charge you a joining fee. So that's what I did. I named 2024 my year of health, and I wanted to just jump into fitness all the way. And since I joined, I have gone, on average, I would say 5 times per week. So let's start out by making this list. Figure out, what is it that I would do if I had unlimited time? Pick one, and that makes a really great New Year's resolution. So let's dial that in a little bit more and talk about making New Year's resolutions reasonable. Saying I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week is not reasonable. Nope. Even for me, somebody who goes to the gym 5 days a week, I still would not set my New Year's resolution at go to the gym 5 days a week, because something's going to happen, right? So make it reasonable. I know no matter what, I can get a workout in 4 days a week. That's reasonable. I can make that work. You also want to make them measurable. So that one already is measurable. But say, let's go back down to our list, homemade lunches. Say homemade lunches are going to be your New Year's resolution. I am going to bring homemade lunches to work X amount of days. Is 5 work days reasonable? No. Let's say 4 days. 4 days out of the week, that makes it both reasonable and measurable. Do you see? So you want to be able to measure your success, and you also want to be able to get to that goal every single week. You can always do more. You can always beat your New Year's resolutions, but I beg of you, do not set yourself up for failure starting out with these huge, lofty goals. Take them down a notch. You can always 6 months in say, well, that was a little bit too easy. I'm going to add an extra day of bringing lunches, or I'm going to add an extra gym day, or whatever it is that you want. But start really slow so that you can hit that goal easily. Because when you can hit it every single week, you're going to keep at it. Now that we've talked about reasonable and measurable, I want to remind all of you about the weight loss secret. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you are already very well aware of the weight loss secret. I will link to it in the show notes as well. It's another podcast I've done here on the Lose Weight by Eating podcast. And in that, I talk about the weight loss secret that nobody wants to talk about, but it's free, it's easy, and it works across the board for fitness, eating healthy, all of that. Are you ready for it? Here's the weight loss secret. You're going to screw up. I know every time I say it, I laugh, but it's the truth. It's a human condition. Even I'm going to screw up and eat something I'm not supposed to eat, miss a gym day. These things will happen. So here's what you do with it. You just get over it. I'm human. Things happen. I'm just going to keep going. The worst thing you can do after you miss a workout or eat something you're not supposed to do is say, well, I'll start again on Monday. It's the end. It's the end, because how many times in your life have you said, I'm just going to start again on Monday? Another really awful thing that you could be doing to yourself in this case is, if you miss a gym workout, doing twice as hard tomorrow at the gym, or starving yourself on the next meal because you overate at lunch and not having dinner. These will set you up for failure. The weight loss secret is, it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. You are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So you have to allow for mistakes. And as a bonus, if you can learn from them, that's really great. So say, for instance, you have a goal where you're going to bring lunch with you 4 days a week. And Tuesday rolls around and it's somebody's birthday at work and pizza and cake arrives. And you have some of both. I would. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to quit? Are you going to say, I'm going to start again on Monday? Or are you just going to keep rolling through the day? You didn't eat your lunch. That's okay. You can bring it home. You can have it for lunch tomorrow. You could have it for dinner tonight. You could just leave it at work and then lunch is ready for you tomorrow. Don't give up. This is what everybody does, is they give up when they mess up. Would you tell your kindergartner, oh, honey, that was a really bad picture. You shouldn't draw it anymore. But this is what we do to ourselves. So again, the weight loss secret is you will screw up. Just get over it. Do not punish yourself. Do not deprive yourself. And do not give up. If you can master this one piece, that's all you need. And then my last New Year's resolution tip I want to give you is don't set too many. So often people will set 5 or 6 New Year's resolutions. Now, if you want to set some goals for the year that you want to work on, that's one thing. You have the whole year, but if you want to start out January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to eat healthy every day. I'm going to walk the dog every day. I'm going to clean the house every day. Honestly, guys, it's not possible. So pick one, maybe two. And then the extras that you want to work on, write them down and say, okay, maybe March or April, when I feel like these resolutions are now healthy habits I'm working on every single day, now I can pick up my list and I can start working on another one. So your New Year's resolutions should be there to help you, to uplift you, to make you excited about the year. They should not be daunting. I wanted to tell you a story. I feel like I've told this here on the podcast before, but years and years and years ago, when I first started Lose Weight by Eating, I was watching the New York ball drop, and I don't know who it was interviewing the gal. In my mind, I feel like it was Anderson Cooper, but somebody asked her, what are your New Year's resolutions? Just this random woman. And she said, I'm going to do yoga 365 days. And I remember yelling at the TV, like, oh my God, what are you doing? There's no way you can do that. Even if you're a yoga instructor, you're going to get sick. You're going to have an injury. You're just not going to feel it one day. So you've got to take a step back. Yeah, you can want to do yoga 365 days in a year, but it's not going to happen. And so if you start your New Year's resolution with something that's unachievable, you're setting yourself up for failure. So let's go back through these 5 tips, and then I'll tell you what my New Year's resolutions have been throughout the years. So tip 1, make them reasonable. Something you can actually do. You can always, always, always beat your goals. Blow them out of the water. Heck yeah, that would be amazing. But you want to win every single week. 2, make them measurable. So just saying, I'm going to eat healthy all year. Well, that's great. But how do you measure that? What is healthy? The next one is remember the weight loss secret. And next, don't set too many New Year's resolutions. And the 5th one was the Lotto ticket idea. Write out a list of everything you would do on a day-to-day basis, what your just daily schedule would look like. Because your schedule right now might look like get up at 5 a.m., feed the kids, drive to work, sit at work, go home, right? That's what your daily schedule looks like right now. If you won the lottery or just $20 million was dropped into your account tomorrow, what would you do with your day? Pick out something on that list you actually can do right now. You don't have to wait until all your dreams come true to have the life that you want. You can start cherry picking a few of those things right now and get started. So let me tell you some of my New Year's resolutions. Actually, I'm going to start with this year. So this year, I already work out and I eat healthy, but I am a picker. And I don't mean a nose picker, but I'm like a finger picker. Like I pick at my nails and I pick at my cuticles, and I do this when I'm nervous. And my partner and I have this thing where anytime we catch each other, picking or go, da, 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 da. And so this year I ordered myself a set from Manicurist, which is an all natural, vegan, organic gel nail system. And if you're watching, you can see. And so that's what I'm doing this year is I'm going to start taking better care of my nails because it will stop me from picking, which I want to do right now. So let's go back from there. Last year, 2024, I made it my year of fitness. I was going to get a gym membership and I was going to start working out. And I had a hiccup in the beginning of the year, and I'm going to talk about that on another podcast episode. I had a bit of a cancer scare. I'm fine. But I wasn't allowed to work out from January through March last year. So I started in March, And I started really hard, which was not smart, and I should know better. I started going to the gym 6 days a week, and I started running and quickly hurt my ankle doing that. And once I was well again, I took a step back, took my own advice and said, "All right, let's do something reasonable." And so my goal was I'm just going to get to the gym. 5 days a week, I'm going to get to the gym. I don't care what I do. If I get there and I go sit in the sauna, then I got there. Half of the time on my way to the gym, I would be dreading it. And I would just tell myself, you only have to do what you want to do today. So if you want to go in and walk on the treadmill at a really light pace for 20 minutes, that's fine. You only have to do what you want to do. Fast forward to now the end of the year, I am working out 5 to 6 days a week, lifting weights, doing easy cardio, and feel better than I ever have. So that was my year of fitness. A few of the other years, of course, I cannot remember more than a year ago, but a few of the other years was I was going to give up all white flour and swap it out for wheat flour or oat flour. Obviously, that was difficult, but I had a goal that 75% of what I purchased for the home or what I made in the home was going to be whole wheat. And that was a really good one for me. My very first one was I'm going to give up diet sodas. And if you know my weight loss story, it was the start of everything. I gave up diet sodas. I did nothing else the first week, and I lost over 10 pounds in 1 week. And that was all I did. So little things like that. You can do something small. If you drink diet sodas right now and you want to stop, that could be your whole New Year's resolution. Of course, you could do more. You don't have to plan today what you're going to do all of next year. That's silly. Pick something easy, but maybe something like, I know I need to do this. I know I need to start working out, or I know I need to give up the sodas, or I know I need to give up red meat, or I want to eat more fish, or whatever it is. Make it reasonable, make it measurable, and just get started. So before I leave you today, I want to share with you a little bit about why I've been gone for a while. So I burnt out, as we all do. I dove into the website so hard at loseweightbyeating.com, and I shed so much fluff from the website that it's unrecognizable. So if you have not looked at the Lose Weight by Eating website for a year, you really need to go check it out. I took out all of the fluff. All you are getting now when you go on the recipes on the website is how to make it ahead of time, how to meal prep every single recipe, yes, and how to store it, and then the recipe, and then the nutrition. That's it. You're getting no fluff. I cut out over half of the ads, but this was thousands of recipes. So I had to go through every single one and strip it and recreate it. The recipes are obviously the same, but I was so sick of seeing those recipe sites where you have to read a whole book, it feels like, before you get to the recipe. And sure, many sites have got the jump to recipe button, as does Lose Weight by Eating. But I just thought, this is not helpful content. This is not what people want. And so I stripped it. As I did say, I added meal prep instructions to every single recipe. So now Lose Weight by Eating is the largest low-calorie website, the largest weight loss recipe website, and the largest meal prep website on the internet. So I did all of that while I was doing 2 podcasts. My other podcast is called Who's Reality Cooking? And yes, that is coming back as well. And I took a summer off and just burnt myself out way too bad. I took a break, and then I was about to start. I was going to come back to the podcasts, specifically the Who's Reality Cooking podcast, and I was bringing on a co-host. And the co-host was my dear, wonderful friend, Dawn, who was on the taste with me. And Dawn was also the very first person I ever interviewed for the Who's Reality Cooking podcast. So I'm at the airport on my way to Barcelona for my big trip. I'm texting with Don, telling him, this is what I need. And he's saying, oh, I haven't listened to all the podcast episodes, and we're, doing notes back and forth. I say, okay, I'm going to get on the plane now. We'll chat when I come back. And when I came back, I texted him and I didn't hear anything. And I thought, all right, well, I didn't want to come off pushy, and I know he has his own life. So I kind of took a step back, and a couple of weeks went by and I hadn't heard from him. And I had a phone call with another friend that knew Don. My friend Parker, who is also he worked on the back end of the taste with us. And that's when I found out that Don had passed. And it shook me, and it kind of took the wind out of my sails. And yeah, so that's why I've been gone. And I know many of you are probably thinking, I don't even know who this woman is. I really don't care about her story. That's why I did it at the end. But for those of you who've been wondering what's going on with this podcast, why is it not happening? Where's Audrey? That's what's happened. So yeah, it's an excuse, but I needed some time off, and I'm glad I did. And I've had some experiences that I can bring to all of you now. For instance, the next episode, I'm going to talk about a really big screw up of mine. I think you guys will love it, resonate with it. But I'm glad I took the time off, and I'm really grateful for all of you waiting. So stay tuned to the next episode of the Lose Weight by Eating podcast. And if you haven't listened yet, check out the Who's Reality Cooking podcast. We are coming back with a new format. I do not have a co-host, but I will be interviewing people, but we're going to turn it into a little bit more of a travel podcast. So that should be fun. For all of you who are just now finding this podcast, please check out the older episodes. There are so many great resources in there for you, including a weight loss manifestation, the weight loss secret. I go into it way more. There's lots of great resources for you. So check out loseweightbyeating.com, and please comment, like, and subscribe. It helps me to keep going. I look forward to a new year with all of you, and please be kind to yourself. Set resolutions that are kind to yourself. Don't overdo it. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.